Since I've got my Stratocaster temporarily set up as a super Strat with a single humbucker, the relatively new Seymour Duncan 59/custom hybrid, I thought it'd be fun to take a look at some classic rock licks, that all use essentially the same chords. And I've called it the brown sugar chords because if you've looked at my other lesson, you'll see that Keith uses those two shapes constantly, not only in brown sugar, but in so many of the classic Stones lick. So I'm going to be showing you the two essential forms and then running through these licks. We're going to start with looking at brown sugar. If you haven't seen my brown sugar lesson, starts off like this. Okay, both of the licks are formed with that first position A bar chord. So you're just simply barring the fourth, third, and second strings, moving it all over the neck. All of the things we're going to be doing today begin with that as the foundation. Now that first figure in brown sugar is simply a 1 to a 4. If we're in the first position, it's an A to a D. Okay? And then after that, Keith goes up to the 8th fret and goes. That's almost exactly the same figure. Your first finger is in the same, it's barring 4, 3, 2. Your middle finger is in the same position, it's 1 fret up on the second string. But your ring finger has moved from 2 frets up on the 4th string down to 2 frets up on the 3rd string. That is the only difference. Okay? So I'm going to call the first figure, this one, the 2-4, and I'm going to call the second one the 2-3. If we look at them both in the first position, it would be like this. Just to show you how the two differ. So, since this is a key thing, I'm not going to show you a lot of Stones riffs today because those are in different lessons, but just as one simple example, Start Me Up. That's it. 1 to 4 from a C to an F at the 5th fret. Again, just an example. All right, let's move into looking at some different guitarists. I'm going to start with that 2-3 figure, and we're going to start all the way up here at the 12th fret. It's that 2-3 figure, just played at 3 different places, the 12th fret, the 10th fret, and the 5th fret. This is one of the greatest riffs of all time, and it's so incredibly simple, which is another thing that we're trying to look at today is, again, this isn't rocket science. Rock and roll is not rocket science, right? So Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, we're doing that 2-3 figure. Next one, we're going to stay right there at the 5th fret, a little Dire Straits. A little less gain, maybe. What you're doing there, you've got the 2-3 figure, play the 4th and 3rd strings, hit that 2nd string, open, so the rest of it is all just open to 3 to 5, playing this 4-3-2 strings on this. Of course, Knopfler's finger picking, and he does a lot of little add-ons like. This is just to give you a little idea, okay? Next one, we're going to head down to Texas for a little early ZZ Top, Francine. Sliding in, we're in the 10th position. We've got that 2-3 figure again. So again, slide into that 2-3 pattern. Play your A shape, and then on the 5th string go 11-12, hammer on. And then your A figure at the 5th fret, which is of course a C chord. Right? A, B, C. And then for the end, I love her part. It's a G chord, and then he does the 2-4 figure. Borrowed heavily from Keith on that one. We go to now licks that primarily use that 2-4 pattern. So that's one of the simplest ones. A chord to D, and then you let up on your index finger, you're playing an open G. I've got a little stratitis going on in my G string, but that sounded weird. Anyway, that's what it sounds like. Open, 3rd string, back to fretted 3rd string, back to the A chord. Next we're going to look at that classic solo from Bohemian Rhapsody, Brian May, which he leads into with this insane feedback power chord, which is our movable A shape. It's just a C chord at the 3rd fret. Then an A chord riffing off the G note on the 6th string. Then he slides up a full octave to that A shape at the 14th fret, which is an A chord since you're full octave up, and doing the 2-4 thing against it. And he does a lot of other little licks, like with the Mark Knopfler. I'm not going to get into all that kind of stuff here, we don't have enough time. But the essential riff, which he ends with, he looped it. I heard an interview with Terry Gross where he said he's not actually playing that. He just played it once and looped the tape. It's just that riff back and forth. So it's just the A to the D. Pretty cool. Very simple. Some of the little add-ons he does are not as simple, of course, but you get the point. Okay, let's go to a clean riff. Our only clean riff. 10th fret. Is that simple or what? Same exact thing that we just saw Brian May doing crazily overdriven at the 14th fret. Doobie Brothers Long Train Running at the 10th fret. They're doing it clean. So the only tricky thing there is you want to mute 1, 6, 5, because like with most of these riffs, we're just playing the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. Okay, that was a quick one. And let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum now with full-on gain. Okay, Eddie Van Halen obviously borrowing from Keith there. We're doing the barred A shape from 5 to 7. You can do that however you want. That's the way I do it. If you bar with your pinky, you can, put your index finger down over it to hold it down if you have trouble barring like that. Slide up to 7, and we're using the 2/4 figure. So it's just 7 and 9. Hammer it on. Pull it off. That's it. Pretty cool. Pretty simple. Last but not least, this is for my good friend, my attorney, Dr. Gonzo. Going back to when we were 15 years old. Okay, so you got an A. That's your F shape. F shape. So if you wanted to play everything of the A shape, you could start with your A here. Go up to the 9th fret, which is of course an E chord. Do your 2/4 hammer on. Down to the D, up to the E, and then the resolution is also that F shape, 10th fret, it's a D chord, it's a D sus4, you're putting your pinky on the 3rd string, 12th fret, which is of course the same as if you don't want to deal with going all over the fretboard, but then you'd miss the point of this lesson, which is using that A shape to move all over the fretboard, play these really cool Keith Richards licks. Hope you had some fun today. I'll see you next time.